personally believe Conte is bigger than Tottenham.
Same. I've always thought
Like, Tottenham
was a step down for him, 100%.
I agree.
TezTalks. Check the scores before you come with your reckless talk.
Go check.
Sending corn, banter my team, I will banter yours. For the win, taking no L's, we don't do draws. Don't press pause, keep your ears peeled when Tezzy talks.
On to the main event.
Win that shit, man.
Shut up,
That
blood.
weren't the main event.
I'm gonna be clipping up this shit.
Clip it, blood. Clip it, bro. We're going to Wembley. Man saying that we're not going to Wembley, bro. We're going to Wembley. I never said we're gonna win.
We're gonna rock down
We're
to
going then.
Wembley.
For the experience. For the
Damn.
experience. Yeah, man.
Down.
You never know, man. You might catch TezTalks down there. And if Newcastle get to the final, I know you lot want us to come up to Newcastle and all that. Get
Come
to
down
Wembley.
to the
You're going to see us
dude.
there, man.
Ain't that like a 4 hour
You see these lot? These lot are going to be there.
What's the 4-hour drive?
Newcastle.
That's like 6, I think. That's
Free there,
I know
free
it's
back.
far, bro.
Free there, free back. Horrible drive. But, bloody hell, let's get on to the main topic, man. I mean, jeez. Sean Dyche is in at Everton. David Moyes is struggling at West Ham.
blood clot.
Arteta's project is finally starting to take fruition. Ten Hag's got Man United looking like they will come back eventually after 6 months. What other managers are struggling right now? There's a few. Fucking
Lampard.
Is it Southampton's manager?
No, Lampard's gone now.
Yeah, Lampard's gone now, but do you think Lampard deserved more time?
No.
Why not?
Because,
They were shy.
it depends, like, more time to do what, like, you gotta think about it. They just about scraped relegation last year.
He kept them up.
He kept them up, but
There's
where
some,
they ain't pushed on since then.
there's
They're
some,
still down there.
What do you think that was because of the summer transfer window? Because I personally do. That summer transfer window was Tarkowski friggin' Nero.
I don't think that's a bad transfer window for Everton.
It was horrible.
You gotta think, on paper, the squad that they have is not a relegation squad. The players that they have, let's go through the team. We got Connor Cody, international centre back, Tarkowski, a good centre back. Who they got?
Yeremina, Michael Keane.
Yeah, some good players. National goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford. Midfield, Iwobi.
They're still playing with bloody...
Good level midfielder. Idrissa Gueye.
All right.
Good level midfielder.
Oh, no.
That Uno Anagiza is good.
It's good.
First Gay, James Garner. Fucking hell.
Damari Gray. Baller.
Lewin, Iwobi.
So I'm saying, bro, they got a good team. You compare it to other
More pay
teams.
as
It's all
well.
right.
Like-
I think West Ham's team's better than theirs.
Alright, dude, that's arguable.
I think West Ham's team's better than theirs. It's all right. There's no one's...
I'd say West Ham's got more not stars, but more
Right, that's it.
match winners.
I don't think Everton's team's better than Fulham's.
Nah, it is, bro.
Ben,
Than Fulham's.
It is.
Nah.
You look at Fulham's team, all they got really is Mitrovic, bro.
Emerson.
Pereira.
But who's
William.
Pereira though, bro? He's a Man United reject, bro.
Yeah, but it's better than Iwobi.
Anzini,
No, it's not,
Suchek,
bro.
Rice.
Pereira's not better than Iwobi.
Iwobi is
Yeah,
dead.
man.
The
Iwobi's
team's not
good,
better.
fam.
It's not good.
Iwobi's good, bro.
Since Iwobi's been moved into the midfield, he's been good, fam.
Nah, fam, I'm not having it.
You're crazy.
It's not the worst.
He's better than Pereira.
Nah, I don't think so.
Is Pereira so good? Why is he not? Why?
I could ask you the same question about Iwobi, bruv.
Because we got a good offer for him.
Likewise.
He was loading out Pereira, bro.
Nah, we sold him 10 million.
No, but 10 million. You know how much we got for Iwobi?
Yeah, that's a dickhead
40
thing.
million. We get
That's a
paid.
dickhead thing and his
40
shit.
million.
You got 25 million for Joe Willock as well, and that was crazy. His shit
No,
also.
but Joe Willock's had a good season, bro. You're crazy.
That don't mean
Did you
it.
see this Newcastle agenda, bro?
What does that mean, bro?
Newcastle, bro.
He's had a good season.
Joe
What does
Willock
that
has
mean?
had a good season, better than Pereira.
So yeah, the Quetta. Nah. Listen,
You still looking at West Ham's team,
West
bro?
Ham's
We already
team's
know
crazy.
West Ham's team's better
West Ham
than
crazy.
Everton's on paper and.
But do you know how much West Ham spent?
that Paqueta, bro, he's done fuck all though, man. I feel sorry
Exactly,
for him.
bro.
But at the same time, they've
Should've
spent
come
a
to a
lot
bigger
as well.
squad.
Everton have spent a lot.
Not in Yeah, over the years, but
Imagine
not
Paqueta
in the last
behind
few
Bruno.
windows.
Not last season, huh?
So imagine Paqueta in with Bruno, bro.
Nah, he would be a bench role at Man United, bro. Don't disrespect Bruno like
With
that.
Ericsson gone, no, he definitely would not.
Of course he would.
Play in midfield with Bruno.
Of course he
Of
would.
course, they could, bro. They're
playing in the same positions?
Yeah, but I play both of them, bro. Put Cassie behind them, bro. Fuck that.
Your midfield great, man. For
This is why your 11's never. You know when we put 11's
My
out
11 is
there,
always the best
They
and
never
most
always
reasonable.
make no
fam.
sense.
just
bro.
never get picked, bro.
All of my go with the same formation every time. No one never tries to switch it up, bro. Right now, we've got no one else to put in from our put Paqueta in that team, bro.
You want to put Paqueta in the midfield with Bruno and have Casemiro just
you
there?
fix its
You
feet,
play
bro.
CM, no, bro.
Oh, we can't.
Says who, fam?
Says the managers that use the player, bro. You've never seen him play in CM, bro. What are you talking
CM,
about?
fam.
But anyway, since we're talking about West Ham, you look at David Moyes.
Shite.
Does he deserve more time, or is it a point where it's just like if you get sacked, you've only got yourself to blame? Because look at playing devil's advocate here. He's had them finish in the top 6 twice. In the last 2 years, he kept them up when he went there the first time, and now they've backed him with peas, and it's just a problem. Like they're not really gelling, and the players that he's brought in, only 2 of them have come into the starting 11. Would you give him more time and just be like, whatever happens this season, we're behind you, or do you have to go? Give it gigs there, every season. You get rid of Moyes as well. I would personally.
I don't know. I'm not really a guy that thinks the answer's sacking the manager all the time. You get me?
Nah, it's not, man.
It's not the answer,
I
bro.
think that's annoying sometimes in the
It's
Premier
wrong
League,
not the
bro.
answer.
Lose
Like,
2 games, he's gone. It's like, what the fuck, bro?
And you gotta think a lot of the time, these new managers need time to as well. Like, so you sack a manager, and then
Bring in a new manager
you're
that has the
expecting
same problem.
a new manager to hit the ground running, basically. But that's not always gonna happen. You get me? So you've trusted Moyes with this money, so you might as well see out the season and then go from there. Because I don't think West Ham will get relegated. No. Yeah, it's a massive drop from where it was last season. Like competing in the Europa League or Conference League?
Conference.
In the Conference League and that. Just about.
You got them to the
Where did they finish?
6. This season just gone.
Are they in the Europa League?
6.
Nah, 7th. They finished 7th. They got kicked out of the green. No, they're still in the Green League. Yeah, they finished 7th. We finished 6th thanks to Brighton.
Oh yeah. I don't know, man. Moyes.
So
I think Moyes is I don't know, man.
I think I'll be honest, I think with Moyes at West Ham, you've got to kinda like, I see both sides. He does deserve what he's done for them, he deserves to see out the rest of this season, but at the same time, with modern day football and all these things, you wouldn't expect to spend that amount of money and then be in the position that where they are, considering where they finished last season. But it's not easy competing, doing Thursday, Sunday football. That's a big problem for them also. They don't have the squad for it. It's a bit peak. And then everyone else around them have kind of strengthened as well. They did spend a lot of money, but did they spend it on good players? Cause I think the only 2 players that they brought in, and I'm like, okay, safe, they're decent additions, is that Paqueta, who's having an okay season, and then that Skamaka, and it's been shit for them. He's actually been shit. So it's like, do you give his signings time to gel, or do you just go and replace him? Because I'll be honest, I feel like if they did replace Moyes, you'd see the change instantly. Because they'd probably go and get man, need to stop talking about Poch, but even one of them managers from like a Spanish league, because they've got so much foreign players. I feel like the type of football will change. Another thing, I don't think Moyes has the players to suit his philosophy. That's a big factor in it as well. So
Question.
go on.
The man thing, you know when man asking about managers and time, innit? Let's say you're a man like Moyes and you've been about in the Prem. Does that automatically give you less time? Now you've like, let's say you've just started your new job. Do you now have less time than a man that's never been here? Because we know you've done a job here or two before.
It all depends on the board.
It all depends on the board.
And
Like,
expectations.
man, personally though, the man, like, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like that manager should get less time because he's been here before and he's kind of used to
It
it?
depends where it's going. It depends where it's going. If he went to like a Bournemouth, if Moyes left West Ham and went to Bournemouth, I'll be like, he's gonna keep them up, so they don't have to worry about that. And then he's gonna keep them in the Premier. He's gonna keep them in the Premier League for another 3-4 seasons to come. So he'll get the adequate time. But if he went to Arsenal, no chance. No chance.
Yeah,
It
that's
all
fair.
depends on
See,
the
that's
the
fair,
club's
though.
expectations and the goals.
Yeah, I
that
feel
they
like
want.
that's fair though, but then I've seen man that have kept man up. Like, wow, what was the black that his name that managed
West Brom.
West Brom.
Darren Moore. That's
Didn't he keep them up and then they sacked him after it? Like what? Like fucking couple games in.
He had them like winning the
Doing
league at
decent
one
job,
point,
bro.
and then because they went down to like 6th and 7th, they got
Sacked
rid of
them,
him. Yeah,
Like
I think
that's what I mean though. But that's expectations. It's like, bro, come on, be real.
But a lot of this is the
Sometimes you gotta
problem.
look at your own team and
You
think,
see
what
with
more could he have done with what you give him?
You see with relegation teams and teams that just get promoted, these lot think so. With the championship teams, they think that they can come up and then that manager is going to keep them up with the same squad. Don't work like that.
Trust me.
And then at the same time, you got these relegation teams that expect certain managers to keep them up without giving them anything to succeed. It don't
Just
work
expect it
like
to just
that.
change next season with no money going into the
what
club.
West Brom did to Slaven Bilic was a joke.
Even like, bro.
Forgot about that.
That was a joke thing. You don't do that, bro. Like, you didn't give him any money. What did you expect him to do? You think you can? This is why I
West
worry
Brom
for
fan?
this is why I worry for Vincent Kompany. Because yeah, he's got Burnley doing the mad thing. I said Burnley. Burnley doing the mad thing. They got Burnley doing the mad thing. You think he's gonna continue that mad thing when it comes to the Premier League? Try that shit, you get bopped, bro. Like, the only you look at what Nottingham Forest are doing. They've done it. They've overdone it. But that's the right thing to do. When you come up, you need to be given the manager and the team the resources to try and stay in the league. If you're not doing that, you're just gonna go back down because the level's just different. You need to be given.
Yeah, that skill gap's crazy.
It's just different. It's just different. Like certain man, depending on how good you are as a manager, some man get away with it. Hassan Hoodle, that geezer, Klopp's brethren, that was at is it Huddersfield
Oh yeah.
for a bit. Even Thomas Frank, but Thomas Frank also got peas. Like there's 1 and 2 man that can be outside Leeds. That's just because they are good managers and they can adapt to certain things. But apart from that, if you ain't giving the team the resources and the backing, it's just peak, bro. It's just peak. Like a manager in modern football, you need to give you clearly need to give your manager 3 seasons before you can expect anything. It's just like a business. Like you're not gonna start a business and within the first year think to start to turn over profit.
Yeah,
it has to be a minimum 3 years, bro. You have some managers that can do great jobs in a short amount of time, and depending on the resources, Pep, Klopp, Pochettino at Spurs when he was doing it. You have these man, but the general consensus is you need a minimum of 3 seasons for me before you can start to say, nah, this isn't good enough.
3, not just like a standard 3 seasons. Like you need the 3 seasons backing them.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the difference. It's all good saying 3 seasons, but if the board ain't backing them, you might as well just throw them 3 seasons in the bingo.
I think that's we're speaking ideally, but the reality of it is football. It's a results-based business.
Yeah.
And if results ain't going the right way, then the pressure's gonna mount.
Put it this way, first season at least.
And you got to think it's about these owners and these chairmen or whatever. They've got this football club is their investment at the end of the day. And if they feel that a manager is affecting their investment and is
jump ship.
not pushing the team in the right direction, they've got to make a decision whether it's basically a risk whether they want to get rid of him now and hopefully get someone else that can bring things back in, or wait and things might not get better. You get me? It's just like, see Arsenal. There was countless times where Arteta could have got sacked.
Yeah.
Countless.
Why do you think they're stuck with him?
Cause your owner's beliefs.
It's about being realistic.
I
It's
personally
about being
watched him say it,
realistic. They tried to get the first approach after Arsene Wenger. We got Unai Emery in, a manager, a good cup manager, successful in France.
But they didn't even want him. Like, if I remember correctly, it was Allegri first choice, and then it was like, nah, we kind of want Arteta still. I remember you lot wanted Arteta before Unai Emery, and it's only because he became available. You just scrapped the Emery Arteta thing and went for Unai.
I can't remember.
I'm sure that's how it went.
But yeah, like at the time, like I've never been Arteta out. You get me? And you can vouch for that.
I can vouch.
I've never been Arteta out, but that's not to say that there's man that were Arteta out that I don't agree with certain things, that certain reasons for them thinking that. You get me? But at the same time, you just gotta persevere. And there's not to say that we're in a good position now, but it could have been a lot worse. Things could have got worse.
Yeah, definitely.
But this is just the risk that you gotta take.
People think as well. What a lot of people think is backing your manager means spending money. No, it doesn't mean that.
No, it don't.
It also means if the manager doesn't want this player, get the player gone.
But this is what they say: time is money. You get me?
Yeah.
So giving a manager time is
Exactly.
essentially giving them money.
Like I look at all the managers in the Premier League now, especially around the big six and Newcastle,
That one hurt you.
and some other clubs. And when you look at, obviously, Pep's a no-brainer. It's just a no-brainer. Regardless of whatever happens, you're always going to give him time because you've seen what he is on. He's won a treble, for crying out loud. So here's a given. You then go to Klopp. You look at Klopp. He was the guy that took Bayern Munich and Pep Guardiola off their perch in that league, and he was playing some of the best football at the time. So it was only right to give him time, because when they got Klopp, there was no one better at the time, really. You then go to Arsenal. They always wanted Arteta, if memory serves me correctly, after Wenger went, for whatever reason, whether it was because basically, like, for whatever reason, they wanted him there. You give him the time, he's now delivering. Stuck with him on whatever else. Chelsea, how they are run is just crazy.
Chelsea's run off fucking.
Do you think Graham Potter deserves time?
I think he does deserve time.
Jump to tell you why he's gonna get time. Because he's not in charge, bro. He's just there for vibes right now. From that club's raw run. You can. Sometimes I look at them and I find it's like I just know
He definitely deserves the rest of the season, 100%.
Yeah,
because you gotta think
this
so
is
many
his first
factors.
window.
So many factors. It's not even about the window. Like,
I need to see how much of them signings he
there's so
ordered.
much going on around him, and like it's unfair to blame him.
He joined at a bad time.
It's unfair to blame him.
Like, I look at him. I look at him at Chelsea, and I look at Ten Hag at United, and there's similar circumstances. He joined the club when they've just brought a new manager in that wants to prove himself, splash the cash, get the fans on side. Not necessarily all of it's going to be his ideas. He could sit there and say, all these signings are mine, whatever, but it doesn't look that way, you get me? So he's not really in control. You look at Ten Hag at United and it's just like, he's joined at the wrong time. Although you'd look at it and be like, they're in a good position. In terms of like the board and above him, all they're focused on is selling the club, so they don't really care about what happens on field. Just like Todd Bowley doesn't really care what happens on field. He just wants to flex his muscles and show that he's the done. So I think Potter deserves time, whether he'll get it or not. It's Chelsea, innit? Unless Todd Bowley is just really gonna invest in his manager in terms of time and all of that. Who knows? Man, just know what Chelsea's like. You look at Conte, you think the Conte deserves time? We know he wants to get off, but what do you think? What do you think the issue is at Spurs and Conte?
Do you know what? I think it's a weird situation because I personally believe Conte is bigger than Tottenham.
Same. I've always thought
Like Tottenham
was a step down for him, 100%.
I agree. I agree.
Of course it was, but at the same time, he's not getting the best out of Tottenham.
Yeah.
Whatever reason that may be, maybe he hasn't got the tools to do well there, or he's. That's what I think it is anyway.
They can't adapt to
he ain't got the tools to do well there. They've given him money, but they've given him players. Whether they're his players, I don't know.
I'll be honest. I think Jose done a better job at Tottenham than Conte did. Conte got them top 4 years.
Tottenham's just
But Jose got them to the final and then they sacked him. That
exactly. Makes no sense.
That was just
You rather Ryan Mason be in charge of a cup final than Jose Mourinho.
Weird.
I don't see the logic in
There's
that.
no logic, and the man's like his final record. I swear it's 100%. I swear he's never lost a
But
final.
there's not a lot of managers I would rather have in a cup final than Mourinho.
If you had to pick as well.
Yeah.
There's not a lot.
There's not.
Imagine having that choice and you say, you know what?
Mourinho is
Fuck
that
him.
manager.
I'd have Mourinho
for
over
a one-off game.
Yeah, I'd have Mourinho over Klopp in a final.
Get him in, win that, get him gone.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. And then you look at what Eddie Howe did at Bournemouth. He got them from League Two and kept them in the Premier League for 5 seasons. And he done it back to back.
He didn't.
A man went from League Two. It went from League Two all the way up and stayed in the Premier League. And the only reason they got relegated and he left is because they didn't give him any money. He deserves time at Newcastle. You look what he's doing at Newcastle now. It's a mad thing. Got Man United fans hating on him and that.
Eddie Howe's a bad man still.
He's a G, bro. Like, every manager that's in and around the top 6 kind of deserves time, and whether it's now or at the time, Klopp deserves time to turn this around for what he's done for Liverpool.
He's got credit in the bank.
You get me? He's got the credit in the bank. Arteta, even if they don't win the league this season, he deserves further time.
Look at bank balance.
You get me? He's got the trophies there. In his 2 8th place finishes, he got what, 2 trophies or 1 trophy and a Community Shield, however you want to look at it, whoever you are. He's got his little credit. Those trophies give him the time to now see them challenging for the league, whether it's a coincidence, whether it was planned, whatever. That's what happened there. Potter deserves time for what he did at Brighton. What Ten Hag's doing at Man United in 6 months, you can't not give him time.
Okay then, say you win the Carabao Cup, but next season you don't make top 4. Ten Hag still get time.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't. It sounds mad me saying this
So
now.
you finish in top 4 this season and get a Carabao Cup, but next season
you don't get top 4.
Don't get top 4.
It all depends how it's done.
Yeah,
Even if it's a capitulation, like, it all depends what this new board's on. If it's a thing where he gets the free reign, they give him like another 200 mil, but not just the 200 mil. Like, yo, if you don't want Wan-Bissaka, you can sell him. If you don't want McTominay, Maguire, and all these players, you can get rid of him. If you don't want that, it's not the board.
missing piece to the puzzle.
It's the director of football that we need.
Yeah, but either way, we need a good one, bro. We need a good board,
Because we
good
can-
director, just to let him do his thing, man. Trust me.
If we don't get top 4, but we only miss out by like 2 points. Newcastle, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea with the team, and United. That's 6 teams fighting for 4 places. I'd be gutted. I'd be like, fuck, man.
But in this day and age,
But it's just like
alright,
to
man,
only
it's
miss out by it's only by like 2 points.
alright.
I wouldn't be disheartened. I was just be like, we go again, but I'm not trying to miss out on top 4 the next season. You're crazy.
Cup sticky
But
right now.
saying that, if we do get the League Cup and get top 4, I want him to get a new deal. Get him a new deal.
On the topic of managers, who would you say has been manager of the season so far?
Arteta.
I mean, it can only be him realistically.
I'd say Eddie Howe. Even who's my man at Fulham? What's his name again? What's his name?
Marco Silva.
Marco Silva.
Yeah.
What he's doing with Fulham? They just come up.
He's a perfect example of why managers need time, because Everton, you had him. You fucking had him, you twats.
It's true.
Watford, you had him.
What though? Like to say it's Arteta is one of them things where to be the best in the season is like a category you gotta tick. There's boxes you have to tick.
If he wins the league, I'd give it to him. If he doesn't win the league,
he's ticking all boxes. Fulham.
If we don't win the league, it depends how far we are off.
if we don't win the league,
If City scrape it, he'll probably still get it.
Arteta will still get manager of the season, bro. 100%.
yeah, he probably will.
Because he's done what no one was expecting him to do. He's done what he had no right to do this season.
I mean,
Man already went through the team. Like that man started with that Dyche. Like, come on, bro.
It's mad still.
I think my manager's in with a shout as well. I'll be honest.
Like no matter what anyone else is doing in the Prem right now, Arteta should never be in first. So for that, he gets it automatically.
I think right now the top five contenders for me this season are Arteta, Eddie Howe, Marco Silva,
De Zerbi as well.
yeah, him. What did oh my days, that's
Brighton.
That's it. That's what I was thinking of, the Brighton manager and Ten
Want that
Hag.
winger blood?
They're the 5 managers for contender for manager of the season for me. Everybody else, sorry. But with that said,
It's deserved.
let us know what you think, people. Do managers deserve time? How long do they deserve? Is it circumstantial? And who's been the manager of the season? And you can't pick Eddie Howe before you even start. Pick somebody else. You can't pick your own manager.
It's done well, man. But Arsenal are in
So
first.
if I
Give
was
it to Arteta, man.
if I had to
I'll
pick,
give it to Eddie, man.
if I had to pick another manager that wasn't Eric Ten Hag, I probably would give it to Arteta still. So don't be giving it to Eddie Howe in the comments. I know what you lot are like. But yes, it's been fun this week. It's been United are going to Wembley. It's been Arsenal are still tough. It's been
Man, I've been saying Arsenal still top for weeks.
bro. It's pissing me off. I
Man got
swear,
bare
man.
clips of 10 saying Arsenal are still top.
It's not for me
We
saying
did a
anymore.
compilation of that at the end of the
Trust me.
season.
Arsenal are still
If you
top.
win it,
Arsenal
bro.
are still top. Man, all the
You're
way.
not gonna win. Arsenal till top next week. Bloody hell, but people, enjoy yourselves,
It's been a
man.
good show, man.
Peace.
Check the scores before you come with your reckless talk. Go check. Sending corn back to my team, I will banter yours. For the win, taking no L's, we don't do draws. Don't press pause, keep your ears peeled when TezTalks.